Do you feel, okay, so if you're married to Tony Robbins, do you feel the need for being, what, enlightened, awakened, on it all the time?
She's on her own, trust me.
Do you know what? I beat to my own drum, definitely.
She definitely does.
I'm definitely my own woman. What we share is so real, and I think because we started as such great friends, I'm who I am. You know, he is who he is, and I think what's beautiful is in our life we share the same values, we share the same intrinsic values of, you know, what's important to each other.
One of the things you said to me yesterday, you said, I think he is one of the few people that I've ever known who is congruent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me what you meant by that.
I think what makes him, you know, it was interesting because I was listening when I was in the green room there, and, you know, talking about how Tony is, you had certain perceptions of who he was.
Yeah.
And this man is, I've lived and breathed with him for 12 years, and he's the real deal. It's not that he gets up on stage and he presents something and then he steps off stage and he's something else. That man has I love my baby. That man has that level of care. He has that level of kindness, whether he's on stage, whether we're at a restaurant, whether it's with a bellman, wherever we are, he takes the time. If somebody comes up and it's like, oh my gosh, Tony Robbins, the #1 thing that people say is, you changed my life. And he never blows them off. He always takes the time to look at somebody, feel them, and take that time, whether it be to have a conversation, and he feels them.
There is a perception that you are Mr. Money, Mr. We talked earlier about Mr. Motivation, Mr. Success, Mr. Drive. You would say you are very external.
Yes.
Money, driven, ambition.
Well, those are part of drives. Those aren't the major drives of me. But external is really more of an action mode versus a passive mode.
Because what I really did get yesterday, and I think, you know, what will come across in this piece, what I really did get, my biggest takeaway, is that it's all about that, but also the meaning behind it. And if there's no meaning behind it, if there's no growth and no giving and no meaning, then none of it
That's what comes first, not the other.
Yeah, not the other.
Yeah, that's it. And that's really what I really teach. My whole thing was to say, let me enter where people live and help them in a practical way. And then without calling it spiritual, open them more to their heart and to giving. And that's what I've done my whole life. And
That's exactly how I define spirituality. It's living with an open heart.
Yes. And when that heart is open, you feel called to support things beyond yourself.
I watched you moving around yesterday, and at the end of the night, you were as exhilarated and excited and literally full from that experience as we all were.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's that like for you?
You know, it's addicting. That part of what we do is addicting, because to see somebody come in the room and to see the lights go on for them, to be on the other side of the firewalk and to see your face walking across. For me, that was a moment, I mean,
I can't wait to see my face walking across.
But on the other side, it was just, you were excited, you were proud, you were exhilarated, and I never get tired of that.
Even the crew did it.
Everybody. It was just, for me, I felt like a proud mama. It was just, I was excited, I was proud, and I was touched. I was touched.
Yeah. What was so interesting to me about the blessing experience yesterday is that's the only time during the whole day that you came over in that very moment.
I felt you.
I'm going to cry right now. Then we should end this interview, because I do not want to cry in this interview, okay? No, you felt me.
I did. I did. And I felt, it wasn't even a question. I felt you, and I felt pulled over to come to you. It wasn't even, I just walked down the stairs and came over to you because I could feel you.
Thank you. Well, thanks for the multitude of breakthroughs. It was as you've heard me share.
Yes,
lots of breakthroughs.
It's been a privilege and a pleasure. And it's been a delight to talk to you today to just hear the most important breakthrough 15 times.